come into that vision by marriage, by birth, by association. Let me tell you something. When I was marrying my wife, I called her. I told her, see, for this thing to happen, this is what we believe. If you are not ready, I back out. Daddy asked me the same question Apostle Joseph asked me. He said, told them, asked him the same question. He said, have you taught her? Oh yeah. It is not just to marry. Or else a day will come where I will say, this is it. You tell me, no, you did not tell me that from the beginning that this is how it is. Problem will come. I've been in this church for long. I know of somebody here. God prospered him. He was a deacon. God prospered him, took him from nothing to something. When it was time for the church to start eating food, he was taken away. And the person he brought in, do you understand who we are? Do you understand what we are preserving? Do you understand what we are preserving? It is more than not wearing trousers. It is more than that. And if you are struggling with only wearing the trousers, if you are struggling with that, or struggling with keeping yourself, it is more than that. If you are still struggling with that, you are not ready. If you study this book of 2 Kings, when the enemy rose up, even though God stirred them up, why? Because God was trying to get remnants. God sets the enemy against him. But let me also tell you, for every vision there is an enemy. The enemy is not against you. It's against the vision, a God-given vision. There's an enemy. If that enemy is particular about your vision, he will study everything. Why? In that 2 Kings, the enemy that rose up brought out a war tactics, which was a siege. In a siege can take from many days to years. In fact, this one took more than 3 years. A siege is where the army will encamp against a people. Gradually, they will take from you everything you stand for. Nothing goes to you and nothing comes out. They take everything essential to you. Until some of them, God forbid, will personally say, I have suffered. If you do not know, the world system we are in is a siege system. It's a siege. And those remnants that do not know who they are and what they are facing, they will exchange what they have for what the enemy wants to present to them. It was in Israel also, a siege happened, and the women started killing their children. Is that also? They started buying the food of birds. They put the waste of birds. It got that serious. If you do not know what you have, if you don't know what was passed to us, as a church also, it is hard time we start teaching us. To make Jesus real is our motto. To be able to do that, you will give up many things. The life of Joseph in Genesis 45 is a typical example. When I read verse 8 of that Genesis 45, I came to understand that Joseph had the understanding from the very beginning why he was being attacked. And that was why in Potiphar's house he still held on. Let's read it. Let's read it. Genesis 45. Genesis 45. Are we there? Now let's start from the 6th of verse 5. Now therefore, be not grieved nor angry with yourselves that ye sold me hither. Are you hearing? For God did send me before you to do what? To preserve life. That is who you are. That is who I am. That is our purpose. God is sending us ahead. A mantle has been passed to us. God has sent us ahead. And because we know what we carry, we hold it jealously. Because it is what we carry, what we preserve, that is preserving us. The vision you preserve is what will preserve you. From the moment you lose it, you have no relevance anymore. Now, verse 7 says, and God sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So now, it was not you that sent me thither, but God. And he had made me a father to Pharaoh, and Lord of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt. So he was saying, you see, when you put me inside the well, it was God that put me inside the well. When the Midianites came to sell me, it was God that sold me to them. In Potiphar's house, all what I went through, God made me go through it. In the prison, when I was abandoned there, God ensured that I should be abandoned there. Why? Because God was sending me first. Another reason is that because he has this knowledge. He had this knowledge that a time will come. If care is not taken, the whole of Israel rested on his shoulders for survival. A generation is tied to us also. If we do not escape, God forbid that generation will all be destroyed. We must ensure whatsoever is targeted at the vision, it is the same. That they told us spiritual operations are the same, and with this I knew. Why? Because even when the people that do not know God also had a vision, right, to build a tower to heaven, it attracted God also. God was also attracted. So naturally, when you have a God-given vision, it will attract. Enemies of that vision will rise up. But if you are complacent, you have no use to them. You have no use. So because you know what you carry, what you are preserving, there are certain jobs you will not take. Somebody hearing me? There are certain jobs you will not take. I also shared with the teachers when I was looking for a job. My cousin connected me to a politician, a PA work. The salary was very attractive. And he called me and said, "Oh, your cousin said you are a Christian. I don't know whether." I said, "I'm a Christian." He said, "Okay, the descriptions you gave about you is the exact person I'm looking for. Tall, they have their qualities and everything. You are a graduate. That's all. I just." I said, "No problem. I am in." Then he now said, "At times will come." I said, "You go to church?" I said, "Yes." I might call you while you're inside the church. I might ask you to make hotel reservations or some kind of hotel reservations. I said, if that is it, I'm out. I'm out. It's a siege. It is what? A siege. Gradually, if I accepted it gradually, certain things will no longer matter. How can you carry a remnant with what you carry? You accept a job to work in a hotel. It's a siege. Do we lose it? Do we lose it? What we carry defines everything about us. Defines our association. Defines what you expose your eyes to, your mind to. If you want to escape it, you must recognize within you how important is it, the thing that God has kept in you, God has given you. You must know. I told the pastors when we were praying, I said, I have heard that they said it one or two times or several times. He will say, what is coming to the church? What is coming? He doesn't want his eyes to see it. I never understood. Anytime he said it, I always ask, when I get on, I always ask myself, why is this man talking like this? Why is he saying what is coming? What is coming? He doesn't want his eyes to see it. I am beginning to see just a glimpse of it. But I also told them, we are the remnants that will not make it to happen. If we as a church are able to protect the integrity of this house, God is going to, we are going to be very large. It's a promise of God. I know within me, it's a level God is taking us to. But no matter how big we become, we should not forget what was given us. We should not let it slide. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed because God looked and looked and looked and looked and looked. There was no more remnants. There was no more remnants. Let me tell you, if there was even one, I think God would have had mercy. God can use one remnant.
Before you sit down, I dare me God to them and conquer.
Amen. He said in the same Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20 to 22, the same thing we read in 2 Kings 19, 20, 30, the same thing. But the one in Isaiah 32, let's look at what Isaiah 32 said. Isaiah chapter 10. Are we there? Isaiah 10, 20. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such are escaped of the house of Judah, Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote him, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in what? In truth. In truth. In the siege, it's only what the enemy gives you that you get. That is if you want to accept it. But the remnant that will escape, Me and you, what is telling me and you is that if I will not get it from God, I will not accept it from any other person. If I'm looking for a job, if God does not give it to me, I am not ready to compromise to get it. Whatsoever the world gives you, they will take something in return. It must cost you. To escape this, the Lord God will only be your sustainer. Praise the Lord. Jesus, also knowing this, Apostle Joseph or somebody else spoke about it in John 17 and John 15. He made mention of it. John 17, 11, chapter 11, that's John chapter 17, verse 11, 14 to 15, and John 15, verse 18 to 20. He prayed it. He knew that there is a siege. He said they are in the world, but they are not of the world. We are in the world. We are not of the world. If we begin to walk as though we are of the world, then we have lost our relationship. The world hates me, and the world will also hate them, he said. If we lose sight of what God has given us and begin to walk like as if we are of the world, we will lose that which the Lord has given us. To be able to escape it, we must hold fast to the nation. We must know who we are. We must know what was passed to us and protect it with everything we have. Apostle will always tell us, one rounding up, will always tell us, and I will encourage every one of us to be behind him, our Father. There is something he's saying. He's trying to get the youth to a place. He's trying to get us, the young ones, the youth, to a place where we come into relevance, into what we know we have to understand what was passed to us. But let me tell you, enemy will fight that vision. So, pastors, overseers, ministers, everyone of us, how best we know, let's support that vision. Let's not leave it. Yes, things happen, but that should not make you work against that vision. Let's strengthen it the best way we can. Because they, if it's a wrong English I want to speak now, I don't know, they are the posterity. Just as I said some time ago, that they passed this to these men. And I can say, in a way, I received it from them. Including the apostle, the Richards, the Rabbi, I received it, I received it from them. And I'm expected to pass it. Let me tell you, my children, as far as they have started asking me some questions. Phoebe is asking me questions. Let's say I don't know anything about this whole thing. Let's say I'm ignorant. Let's say she asked me, Daddy, why do we? And I said, I don't know. That is how I saw it. Is that a good enough answer to Phoebe? What am I passing to her? Nothing. And she will go out there and people endangering her. Because she associates with me, she's like what we heard that she's carved out from me. But she knows nothing about me. Because I have not passed to her what she should carry and preserve. And I endanger her because the enemies of the vision will fight. If they could not fight me based on what